Hey, what's up? It's Comic 95, the Savior, and for this video, I wanted to just give some real advice and talk to you guys really quickly, hopefully, and just tell you that you really want to be careful when you come to Japan, especially if you're new here, and to not overshare, like how I do on my YouTube channel, not to overshare with people, even if you think they're your friends. And I hate to say this, but my best advice to you is, I've made a video about this actually already, but my best advice to you is to always make sure that you have separate groups of friends and not to mix them, and that you tell different friends different things, that there's different levels of friends. And what I mean by that is, you do not want to mix your friends from work with your friends in your personal life. And there's different levels of friendships. Not everyone is really your friend. You have associates, you have work friends, you have real friends. You want to keep these levels. And the reason why you have these levels is it allows you to, how can I say it? It allows you to determine what information you're willing to share. For example, my real friends, I might go into deep detail about how, things are going with me and my husband. I might tell them, oh, he did this to make me really upset. With my work friends, I'm not going to tell you that business. To your understanding, my marriage is 100% perfect and there's no problems. That's how you want to talk to these friends. So I don't say this so that you can go around being fake and phony and have these different lives that you're living, but rather to protect yourself. And a lot of people don't understand that just because, you're skin folk doesn't mean they're kin folk. And for white people here, to make this more clear to you, and some black people that don't know this as well, you need to remember that even although we're in Japan and you think that because we're foreigners, we're from the same country, that, we're going to all get along, we're the best of friends. I wish it were that way, but sadly, it's a competition, and you have to view being in Japan like being in high school all over again. It's the Minority Olympics. Or how can I say, not the Minority Olympics, but rather to say, it's a competition amongst minorities. I can't think of the word they use. Model Minority Olympics, what I'm looking for. Model Minority Olympics. And if you don't know what a model minority is, please look it up. But just to give you a good idea of this, basically it's kind of reverse. Normally model minorities tend to be Asians in places like the US, where you're basically a minority and you go through crap too. Don't get me wrong, black people, don't lose me. You go through racism, discrimination, etc. Like how black people do. We're not comparing on who goes through worse. Obviously it's us. And I get into that. We're not talking about that right now. Stay with me. I'm making the video short, people. But the difference is they're not very vocal about it. They work hard, they make their money, they go to school, etc. They stay out of trouble, don't have any issues, etc. They don't care, or shall I say, not they don't care, but they don't make a big fuss, a big deal about the racism and things that do happen to them. Thus, they're looked at as being the ideal minority, the person that you want to have. This is through the eyes of the standard average white person in the US. Things are changing nowadays, etc. We have all this liberal stuff and PC movements, etc., which are doing both good and bad. And I'm not going to get into all of that crap. I'm not going to get into opinions on that. I'm just telling you what this term means. So look it up. But anyway, back on subject. Let me calm down. People are trying to compete to show that they're not like those other foreigners. They're a good foreigner. They're Japanese. And while I can understand this to a certain degree, because of course I do agree you should be trying to assimilate, you should be respectful of the country and culture that you're in. You should want to learn how to do things the Japanese way. You should learn how to speak Japanese. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make you a bad person. And that's not a matter of being a model minority. That's just being a good person. However, there are people that try to put you down, whether it be talking about, oh, you need to learn Japanese, and just making you feel bad about yourself because you're not doing as good as them, or you made a mistake and they knew not to do that because they knew more about Japanese culture than you do. Those type of people. You have people that are also trying to get that promotion, people that are trying to make sure that they're friends with everybody and you're the odd one out. People that have nothing better to do with themselves but to talk about other people. And I've worked with plenty of people like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch my video where I talk about why I left my job back in Osaka. Yeah, that was a prime example of that. I was a new kid on the block. I was young. I was stupid. I was 23. And what did I do? I thought that everybody was my friend. I didn't even realize I was going out with my boss because totally different culture for me. I went out drinking with my boss my first day of work and they got drunk with me. Yeah, like sloppy drunk. I had no idea that was even my supervisor that day. But back on subject. Different culture, different everything. So, anyway, all I'm trying to say is, you think these people are your friends, you go out and party with them, you have fun, you share too much, tell them how you really think, how you really feel, whether it be you telling them, about your personal life and dating, telling them about your depression, your anxiety, etc. And those are all really big things that you do not want to share with other people, especially mental health. And I'm not trying to tell you to keep these things to yourself and harm yourself per se, but you don't want to share this with people that you are working with or people that you're going to school with, because unfortunately people do talk. And the best advice I ever got from a children's book when I was a child, I read a book. I think it was like a How to Survive Middle School book or something by an American girl, like a smart girl's guide to middle school or something like that. And I remember I never had the book because my mom wasn't going to pay for that, but I used to read it because we would go to Borders bookstore. My mom would like stay there for like 3 hours and, oh, mom, I want to go home, and she would never leave. And so I literally read every book that store had, including ones that I shouldn't have been reading, but that's another story. So anyway, I remember reading in that book, and it said something along the lines of, if you tell a secret, you have to accept the fact that everyone knows it. You just don't know who. And it was basically saying that it showed like a picture of a girl that like told a secret, and it showed that everybody around her was like looking at her and like giving it to people like the eye, like, girl, like, we know. And she doesn't know that everybody around her knows. And so it's basically just preparing you. This is not to, how can I make up an excuse of people that choose to, tell your business. They're still in the wrong for doing that. But it's letting you know that if you're going to get hurt because the secret is out there, you might as well keep it to yourself. Because if you tell even just one person, it's very likely that they went and told someone else, and that person told someone else, and that person told someone else. People gossip, people talk. It's nature, it's natural, it's life. I'm not saying that it's right, but everyone's done it before. Different people have different levels of what they think is okay to gossip and share. For example, I'll be real with myself. I gossip all the time to my mama, but I ain't gonna tell my friends business or whatnot at work or whatnot. Now, my mom probably knows your secrets, but when it comes, I'll tell her everything. I tell her things that are of importance she'll care about. She ain't gonna sit there and listen to me talk about all that shit. But back on subject. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you have to recognize the fact that when you tell somebody stuff, they're going to go out and tell other people. Now, sadly, a lot of people, that's something that I never do, they will tell stuff to sabotage you, not just to make small talk. They do it to make small talk because they're a boring-ass individual, and they want to sabotage and harm you. They don't want you to do better than them. They don't want you to be popular. They don't want you to be cool. They see you as competition. Now, there's two blondes or there's two black girls here. Like, no, I got to be the best friend. They will tell your business. They will exaggerate stuff. They will lie on you, etc. Do not tell, even if they just tell 100% the truth. You don't want everybody to know that you're depressed. You don't want everybody to know that you're anxious. You don't want everybody to know you're going through a divorce, etc. Unless you want everybody to know this, don't tell anyone. And honestly, being here in Japan, you don't know about things like mental health, etc. And I hate to say that, but I just gotta keep it real. The reason being is, it will usually cost you a job or your job. A lot of people, obviously, just keeping it real with you, they don't want to hire somebody that possibly has mental health issues, etc. because you're likely to either, one, quit your job, or two, you're likely to need time off, come in late, miss days, go back to your home country, etc. They don't want to deal with all of that crap. They don't care about you. And that's why I said, you have to remember, this is a business. It's a business. They will try to guilt trip you, make you feel bad for, choosing not to work for them or taking time off, etc. Which, again, I understand the company's frustrations from a business standpoint, but at the same time, your life, your mental health is a lot more important. I'm just keeping it real with you. If you really want to get a job, keep it, etc. Sometimes being too honest is a bad thing. You don't have to answer every question truthfully, especially when it comes to stuff like that. These jobs want you to not ever have children. They want you to never take a day off. They want you to never see your family, and they want you to be okay with getting paid $2,000 per month. That's the ideal employee here. And no Saturdays. They want you to not do anything, basically. They want you to literally be a company slave. You just work for the school. You never have children. If you have kids, it don't matter if they're sick. They need to take care of themselves. They don't want you to take any time off. They want to pay you as little as possible for giving up all of your time and all of your life. And so, you really have to think to yourself, like, is this what I want? Am I okay with this? And you have to think to yourself, when you're telling people your business, what could they possibly do with the information that I'm giving them? And even when you're asking questions innocently online, I see a lot of people, I'm just going to keep it real. This does help me make videos because I read readings that the people say. But at the same time, it's like people asking questions even in forums. And you might think because you're not using your name or because, it's a group and everybody's helping each other because we're all foreigners here. But people are literally lurking in these groups, laughing, watching, taking screenshots, and going back and showing their bosses, showing their friends, showing their coworkers, etc. And a lot of the time, the questions that people are asking are actually very identifying information, like where we know, oh, you live this place, oh, you work at this company, etc. And so it's like, if you don't mind and you have nothing to hide, really don't care about it, then it's whatever. But I will also say that you have to keep in mind that for a lot of people, if you want to stay here in Japan, it's really going to hurt your chances of being able to get another good job here, especially if, you know, the people that are inside that group, you know, I don't know, they happen to be at the next place that you want to work at, etc. People search these groups, they look up your name, etc. So, you know, just be really careful when you're asking questions in these places. You might get the help and information that you need sometimes, but a lot of the time, honestly, I find that it's not even worth it. Look and see if somebody else asked the question. Like, don't, and even like, oh, my friend's friend, we know it's you. And even if it's not you, it's weird. Why are you asking the question on behalf of your friend? Let them ask it and figure it out on their own. Like, it just makes it seem like it's you. So even if you really are asking for your friend, you need to pretend like it is not, you know, like, I can't even explain it. You need to not pretend like it's not. You need to have your friend ask that question and tell them where to go to ask the question and let them do it. Because even if you're saying, oh, it's a friend of a friend, it's sad that people function this way. But that's just the way that they are here in Japan. And, you know, it's probably other places too, but I'm speaking on Japan. People are out here to sabotage you. It's the truth. People want small talk. People want to gossip. People are afraid of hiring bad employees. People are afraid that you are going to quit because the turnover rate is high here at pretty much every school. So they don't want to take any chances. If you have a history of asking wishy-washy questions, you have a history of divorces, you have a history of mental health issues, etc., people don't want to hire you. That's facts. It sounds crazy, but it's the truth, and I'm being honest with you. I'm trying to help you out. So just be careful with, you know, who you tell about your mental health issues, who you go to for counseling. Don't think just because somebody's a counselor that they actually follow the code of keeping your business private. People share stuff. People gossip. So I really feel sorry for people that do that crap here, because it makes me think, like, how miserable could your life be? You left your home country to start a new life here in Japan just to be an evil person, like the people that you probably ran away from. And this brings me back to, like, I think about my own situation on my job. I literally had a coworker of mine that used to always talk about how she went through going to school, being bullied, etc. But I'm like, do you not realize that you started a new life here in Japan and now you're bullying me? I'm the dude kid on the block. I ain't do shit to you but be nice to you. Literally from the beginning. And you over here gossiping, laughing behind my back. And probably, you know, to my face too. And I didn't even realize it. Just treating me like total shit. I did nothing to you. And they don't even realize it's sad. A lot of these people, they don't even realize it because they're so busy looking after themselves. They're so busy trying to be cool, trying to fit in. Not just the Japanese people, but even the other coworkers. So I'm sorry to put it this way, but you're really here by yourself. And don't be fooled by the whole, oh, we're a team, we're a family. No, the fuck you're not. You're coworkers. You're here to get paid. You're here to work. That whole bonding family BS crap is BS that jobs put inside your brain to get you to put in more hours, more work, and put in more money to the company than you should be. It's to brainwash you. Shit, you want to get along with your coworkers? Yeah, you're with them all day. But you also have to remember that there's boundaries that need to be set. For example, there's boundaries that you have between your, you know, coworkers than you have with your friends. There's different things that you'll share with them. You might tell your friends about your bad day, but if your coworker asks you, how was your, you know, weekend? You might say, oh, it was great. It was okay. Now, if your friend asks you, girl, let me tell you. Okay, like, see, there's a difference in how you talk. If my friend asks me, can I have $500? Versus if my husband asks me, hey, can I have $500? They're going to get a completely different answer. Just keeping it real with you. A best friend versus a friend you've only known for a couple of years is going to get a different answer too. So you have to think about these things. So I'm really done with this. All to say is, like, you know, just be careful. Everybody that's out there giving advice ain't even being honest with you. A lot of people just want to see you F everything up and see how it goes. A lot of people are watching and reading. More people that, there are so many more people that are reading these forums than people that are liking them and leaving comments on it. Don't think because things have low engagement that there's no views. A lot, like, look at my videos, for example. My videos average typically about 200 to 300 views per video. Do you see 200 to 300 likes or comments on my videos? No, you don't. Normally, my videos on average get about maybe 10, 20, no more than 40 likes max for most of my videos. But as soon as I post a video within a couple of days, I normally get, and this is a very low number, might I add, but my subscriber count is low, so it's actually good. I normally get about 300 views. With that said, it's like, okay, there's 300 people watching, but not 300 people interacting. It's the same thing with these forums. Thousands of people are seeing the posts. They just don't like it and they don't comment it because they want to be anonymous. They want to keep that anonymity. I can't say that fucking word. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Did I say it right? Help me out, y'all. But you get what I'm trying to say? They don't want you to trace it back to them. People got fake Facebook accounts and everything. And so I'm not necessarily going to, recommend you go that far, but keep in mind, people are crazy. They'll trace your IP address and everything. They'll know it's you by what you ask. So don't think that because you posted anonymously or you used your burner account, they'll know how you write. They'll know what your situation is. They'll figure it out that it's you. So I'm not trying to teach you to be paranoid, but I'm trying to teach you to use wisdom and be smart. Trust me, I would love to use your crazy ass situation to make a YouTube video on answering your question. But the reality is, I want to help you guys out. And I want to help you avoid unnecessary drama and issues by not telling everyone everything. And it's not just a matter of talking in forums. It's a matter of being at work, is what I'm really getting at. Work and school. People talk too much trying to break the ice, trying to be friends, and you get too comfortable with people too fast. Everybody's in Japan, honestly, for similar reasons. A lot of people are lying about why they're here. But the reality is, if you came into Japan, it's normally one of two reasons. Either one, you're a weeboo, or two, you have yellow fever, and you're also probably a weeboo too. And with that said, it's whatever. But what people do is instead, they're like, a lot of these people here are lames. They're lames. They're ugly, fat weirdos that came to Japan to run away from all of their problems. They're lames in real life. But they come to Japan acting like they're all big and bad. They come to Japan, start cliques, trying to be the cool person that they couldn't be back in their home country. That's what's really going on here. It's really sad, pathetic, and stupid. And it's ridiculous because it tends to happen a lot at schools, even although we're teachers, which is ridiculous. Like, it's literally our job to teach kids not to bully, not to fight, not to be mean, to think about other people, to be empathetic. And here we are, grown folks in our 30s and 20s and even 40s and 50s talking shit, having cliques, leaving people out. It's just ridiculous. And then I also want to add too that you need to get to know people on your own. A lot of people hate people that they haven't even met, don't even know, because they were told to hate that person by other people, or they heard stories about that person from someone else. And so I don't want to speak out of both sides of my mouth, because I'm going to keep it real. I personally avoid people that are friends of my enemies, but I'm not going to tell you to avoid the person. I just personally will draw myself back from you, because if your friends are my enemy, what is my enemy talking to you about, and why are you hanging out with me? It just doesn't work out that way. You can't be a Satanist and then love Jesus Christ at the same time. It don't work, okay? This is literally the exact same situation. You can't worship God and love Satan, is how I see it. You can't be my best friend and then be best friends or even friends with the person that's talking ass about me and hates me. You get what I'm trying to say? You need to think about that for yourself too. Don't allow people to be friends with you and friends with your enemy. And also, don't allow yourself to hate people because somebody else hates them. Think about what they're saying. I know it sounds contradictory, like, what? But hear me out. Think about what they're saying. Take it with a grain of salt. But form your own opinions. Get to know people on your own. Don't just talk shit and be repeating what other people had to say. Because for all you know, your little best friend could have been the one that really effed things up. Like, oh, that's why they hate you. That's what really happened. There might be more to that story than what you know. Because you're only getting this from that person's, perspective, their opinion, whatever. And I'll pat myself on the back for this. I consider myself to be pretty good at telling the full story. I normally tell what I did, what they did, how I felt, and how I presume they must have felt too. I'm good at doing that, but most people don't tell stories that way. When you get stories from most people, they talk to you like how children do. They tattletale. Oh, they did X, Y, and Z to me, and then they only tell the good things about what they did. I never tell stories like that. I tell you what I did to get my dumb stuff in my situations, and then I tell you what they did to me. And this ain't to justify what they, did or anything like that, or to justify what I did, but rather tell the entire story. That's where there is no third story coming out of nowhere. Oh, well, actually, here goes my story. There's no room for that because I already told both sides of it. And think about my situation with that job in Osaka. I know that they must be dying watching that video for everybody that did, and I'm sure they all saw it at this point because they probably wanted to say something, but nope, I told everything. I told the lie that they spread about me. I confirmed what they said had partial truth to it because some of those things happened. It just wasn't for the reason that they said it did, and it wasn't the way they said it happened, and it wasn't what they said happened. Because like I said, you can go back and watch that video. They took a little truth and turned it into a huge lie. And that's what a lot of people will do that pretend to be your friend. They get information from you. They get a couple of details wrong, either on purpose or by accident. And everybody thinking something about you that's not true. Or let's say they get everything right and it is true. Maybe you don't want everyone to know that. Maybe if you knew that by them knowing that, it's going to stop you from getting a promotion. Or it's going to stop you from being friends with certain people because they find out that information about you. You wouldn't have done that. So, there's so much I can go into about that. All I gotta say is just make sure you get to know people on your own. You talk to people on your own. You listen and observe more than you talk. So many people try to be outgoing and quickly make friends here, and you end up hurting yourself a lot more than helping yourself. Because don't be fooled. A lot of people that you see on social media with tons of friends, big groups of people, always going out to parties, hanging out, etc., they're not really having fun. Their life is miserable. People are hanging out with them to use them. They're not really their friends. When those people have a time when they're in need, when they need money, when they need support, when they really need stuff, those people are nowhere to be found. You need to think to yourself, do you want genuine friends? Or do you want to look like you're cool by having a lot of fake friends around you? And I used to be the person that wanted a lot of fake friends around me. But as you get older, you realize that you don't want that. You want people that are genuinely your friends, people that actually help you in your time of need, whether it be financially, whether it be, listening ear, people to hang out with and have fun with. Because everybody want to act like they're close to you when they know that if they hang out with you, they're going to get invited to parties and have free food and drinks and be able to meet hot people. Yeah, sure, they'll use you, but are they really your friend? Probably not. So, yeah, just be really careful, you guys. You have to think like an adult, but remember that unfortunately a lot of the adults here, they're playing high school games. Don't overshare people. Remember, you're in Japan, you might be in a new country, but it's a lot of old people, a lot of old games being played. People will completely ruin your reputation here. I've had it happen to me. Be very careful who you choose to befriend. Be very careful who you choose to date. Be very careful with where you work and who you choose to tell your business. Everybody don't need to know about every little struggle situation you've had. Everybody doesn't need to know about every person that you date, who you're having sex with, etc. You can keep things to yourself. If you want to share your business, you have to understand that by sharing your business, you are risking people telling lies on you, telling stories that are not true, exaggerating things. And if you're willing to take that risk, then go ahead. But I'm letting you know that the people that you think are really your friends, a lot of them aren't. They're hanging out with you because they want to watch all the shit fall apart. They're here for the shit show. They want to watch how badly you can F up your life. They will cheer you up. Oh, yeah, girl, go ahead. Do that. Yeah, have sex with 6 of them at the same time. They'll tell you everything. Yeah, girl, let them run a train on you. They'll tell you anything. Anything you want to hear. But would these girls do that same bad information and advice? Would they do that for themselves? Would they advise their own children? Would they tell their sister to do that? Would they tell their mother or people close to them? Would they advise them to do that? Probably not. But they'll support you. Are they really your friends then? Some people are crazy. They probably are doing it for themselves too. But is it smart to do it? There's a lot of dumb people doing dumb crap to themselves. It brings it back to the whole jump off of the cliff scenario. Just, will you do that too if your friends are doing whatever? And there's a lot of people that stupidly would. So don't think that because she's oversharing her story with me, so I should overshare with her too. Somebody else choosing to tell you all their business does not mean you gotta go in and chime in and be like, well, since she overshared a super personal story about her relationship, maybe I should overshare a super personal story about my relationship. People are so crazy. They will tell you all their business, and after you tell them yours, they'll go and tell yours. And I'll just be thinking to myself, but bitch, you just told me your whole life story at dinner. Why the fuck would you go back to work and tell everybody my life story? That was private. One of the things that really hurt me the most, and I said this already before, was the fact that I confided in someone information that I didn't want to share at first, but because I felt comfortable because they shared their information about their family, and I talked about mine. And when we fell out, the first thing that came out of their mouth was the fact that they believed those things that happened to me, I deserved it, and this, that, and the other, and talking about, my family being effed up, and blah, blah, and this, that, and the other, and I don't even know, all of the details of what they said. I literally just, blacked out at this point, because I was hurt by it. I was too busy being hurt by the fact they had the audacity to say that to me. Because the thing that really got me was, I love when people get mad at me. This is something that I want to slow down the video. I love it when people get mad at me because they oftentimes speak what they really were thinking and how they really feel. The moment that girl got mad at me, she didn't hold back anything. She told me exactly what she really felt. She let me know that all this time, I said this in my video that I made. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say her name again. She told me how she really felt all this time. How she felt that I was a hoe. How she felt that I was crazy. I deserved all these bad things that happened to me. And I cannot but think to myself, this same person pretended to be my friend, asking me for advice, encouraging me to share my stories, you are secretly in your mind, while I'm telling you this bit my tongue. While I'm telling you this information, you are judging me. You are thinking poorly of me. You were not trying to help me. You weren't asking this business to get to know me because you cared about me, because you wanted to understand me. You wanted to know my dirt and my business to use it against me for when you got angry. You wanted to know my dirt and business so you could gossip about me. You wanted to know my dirt and business so that you could feel better about yourself. I'm no dummy. I don't believe that was the first time she said these things. I believe it was her first time and the greatest opportunity to say it to me. But you best believe she shared it with other people inside of our little friend group. You best believe she shared it with her friends. She probably shared it with her family, etc. There's a difference between gossiping with other people and saying, wow, like for example, myself, I'll tell mom, oh mom, like I found out about this with my friend. Like, yeah, I didn't know that she had this going on, whatever. I don't talk to mom, but, oh mom, my friend, she got this idea. Like, she dumb as fuck, she a hoe. I don't talk to my mom like that. I was hurt. But I couldn't be mad at anybody but myself, because I knew something was wrong with her the day that we met. And I even told her. And I let my guard down. I thought that I was wrong. I thought that I was paranoid because of my damaged, bad relationship with my half-sisters. Because she literally was exactly like Talisa. I thought it was her. And I thought that I was wrong. I let my guard down and I learned my lesson. So, that's it. A lot of you are going to have to learn the hard way. You're going to befriend people aren't really your friends, hang out with snakes, etc. But you have the opportunity to avoid doing foolish things like that. So please do yourself a favor. Please, for the love of God, please keep your business to yourself. You ain't got to tell people that you're depressed. Talk to Jesus, okay? Like, please stop telling everybody, oh, I got mental health issues. Oh, you know, I have to go back home to America at least once a year. I get homesick. You will talk yourself out of a lot of opportunities here in Japan. Because all people are thinking is, oh, okay, red flag, we're not going to hire you. Or, yep, we'll hire you, but when we get opportunity to replace you, we will. Or, yep, we'll hire you, but we are never going to promote you. Some places will be really nice and understanding, but the reality is most will not. I literally just applied for a job recently, and one of the questions asked me, oh, no mental health issues, no depression, and blah, blah. So, of course, I'm lying my ass off. I'm like, oh, nope. You know, so like, shit, bitch, I was just trying to kill myself 3 months ago. But you see what I'm trying to say? You can't be honest with these people. You tell people the truth, they're not going to say, oh, I feel so sorry for you, let me get you some help. No. After you say that, they're going to be like, I ain't finna hire this psychotic, crazy ass, sad ass, lonely ass bitch. That's what they're going to be thinking to themselves. They're not worried about you. They want to make yen. They're here to make money. Your friends, they're there for conversation. They're there for gossip. They want to be the higher ranking person inside the group. They want to be popular. They want to be cool. If you're smart, one of the best pieces of information I ever learned is never talk to somebody about yourself that shares more information about other people than they do about themselves. Anybody that has the time to constantly tell you, oh girl, do you know about this person? Girl, what about this? And I learned this, and I heard this and that. What about you? You got so much to tell me about everybody else around you. What are your stories about yourself and your life? You best believe that same person is telling you all their business, all those stories. What do you think they're going to tell those people whose stories they got? You best believe they're giving them your stories. They recycling information. They get stories and gossip from you, and they tell them. They get stories and gossip from them, and they go tell you. They don't have a life. Boring ass people, nothing better to do than start drama, stir up shit, tell other people's business. It's childish crap. There's grown women and men, but especially women, grown women doing this. In their 30s, in their 40s. It's ridiculous, but it's the truth, and they're doing it, so it's whatever. So I'm done with this video. Just want to warn you guys that a lot of you guys are coming to Japan. You know, you've just graduated or you're on your way to graduating. You'll be here during the spring or summer or even the fall this year. I wish you the best of luck. I'm not trying to scare you. If you need help information, please ask, but be careful about how you go about doing it. And if possible, try to just see if the questions have already been answered. For example, on my YouTube channel, in forums already before you ask your own question. Because a lot of the time, the question you have, people have already asked a million times. Your question and situation is not unique. But hey, if it is, if your question question or situation is unique, you can always email me your question, and I'll make a video on it answering your topic or, whatever. I don't care. This is my job as a YouTuber. This is my work. But if I were you, I wouldn't do it myself. If you're trying to ask questions out of a forum, etc., and you're not an influencer, you're not on social media, and you don't want that sort of attention, because even if people aren't telling they know it's you, people at your job are likely inside of these groups, and they know that was you who asked that question. So that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, again, leave a comment down below. I'll try to make a video about it later. And if you want to, you can also send it to me in an email. Please do not send me DMs on Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or anything else like that with questions. If you have questions, please email them to me. My email address is listed down below. And also, you can leave a comment with your video idea. As always, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Comic95. I have a Snapchat and TikTok at Comic the Savior, a Facebook fan page at Comic95 the Savior, and a blog at Comic95.com. The links for everything are in the description box down below. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you for watching, and I hope you'll watch another video. Bye.